You're going to want to get to know this guy. If you don't know who he is right now, he's going to help you live a stronger, healthier life. I've actually been involved in his fitness program for the last couple of months. So if you guys have been seeing my transformation online, Sean is one of the reasons behind that. So stay tuned. 10 seconds. We'll be right back with Sean.
Whether you're new to sales or a lifetime veteran, the Black Belt Sales Podcast will sharpen your sword and guide you to master the art of sales. And now, here's your host, the ninja himself, Gene Slade.
Welcome back, my ninjas. I'm super excited to introduce you to the man, the myth, the legend, Sean Crane. What's up, Sean? Welcome to the podcast today. Thanks for being here, buddy.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
My pleasure. Let me just give you a quick introduction. I'm going to just read his bio because I can't memorize stuff like that fast. It says Sean Michael Crane is a visionary and founder of Unstoppable 365. That's the program I was talking about. An elite self-mastery program for business owners looking to maximize their results in all aspects of life. He's the host of Unstoppable Mindset podcast, found on YouTube and all the major platforms. And Sean's exceptional life experience gives him a unique perspective and an uncanny ability to move others into immediate action, and I can vouch for that. Sean is also a best-selling author in his memoir, Prison of Your Own, Break Free of Limitations and Unlock Your True Potential. This book, it describes his journey from a hopeless adolescent, depressed and addicted to drugs and alcohol, to a man living on with a purpose today. So again, Sean, welcome. Why don't you introduce yourself real quick? I know that was a mouthful, but just in you and I language every day, if you were just talking to friends, to my audience, give them an idea of who you are. Who's Sean?
Yeah, no, thanks for the intro, man. That was awesome. My name's Sean Crane. If you guys want to follow me at any point or reach out, it's Sean Michael Crane on Facebook. I'm probably friends with a lot of your audience. And then Instagram,
Yep.
Sean_Crane_official. I'm a father. I'm a family man, coach, speaker, author. Really a guy that's striving to be his best and just loving this journey that I've been on, man, of personal development and building meaningful relationships and being an example for others. You know, I have 4 children now, Gene, so every day I have no room for error. I have a 7-month-old all the way to 15 in high school. I got eyes on me all the time, whether it's my family or my clients or I post on social media. And I love that because it requires me to give my best effort every day. And real quick, before we get into it, my daughter, who's 6, she's very ahead of her time. She's super smart. She's just an amazing girl. Scarlett, precocious is the word, right? She asked me the other day, she goes, "Dad, how do you become a winner in life?" And I was like, well, honestly, you just create a life that you truly love and cherish. That's the goal for all of us. But the simplest way to start doing that, I think, and this is stuff I share with my kids all the time, is number 1, show up with a positive attitude every day. Okay. Not every day we're going to feel great, but if we give our best effort as far as our attitude, it goes a long way. But that also leads into number 2 is like, well, what about on the days you're not feeling your best? How do you just fake that? You can't fake that, especially in sales and life. It's all about a transfer of energy. So secondly is give your best effort every day to everything you're doing. That's how you create the subconscious belief that I'm a winner, that I'm a go-getter, that I go above and beyond. I don't care if it's doing laundry and folding the laundry, doing the dishes, or your workout, or whatever it is. Give your best effort. And then number 3, and I tell my kids this all the time, never quit or give up. No matter how tough life gets, no matter what adversity you're going through, if you show up with your best attitude every day, you give your best effort, and you refuse to quit or give up, I promise you, you're going to create a really special life for yourself.
Never give up. Resilience, man. I think it was Les Brown that I heard say, if that you're going to get knocked down in life, right? But when you get down, he says, try to land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up, right? He's one of my favorite mentors. That resilience, I don't think there's anything that can replace it. And sometimes we fail, right? Sometimes we start something and then we stop it or don't finish it. Why do you think people do that? Like, why? Like for me, and I've got my own examples as well, but For me, when I go travel, you travel just like I travel, right? I find it harder when I travel to get that workout in, even though Coach Travis will personalize a workout for me where I don't have to hit a gym. What is it about the mind that you have found stops guys from being consistent in the gym?
Just a perceived lack of value in why they're doing it, or a lack of meaning behind it. Like for me, having muscles that are aesthetic and like looking good is secondary to how it allows me to feel. I don't feel the same if I don't get up and move my body. Like my morning process and routine is so ingrained into me. It gives me clarity. It increases my optimism. Helps me go into my day just feeling that much better. So like if you found something that really, really positively impacted your life, and you could do it every day essentially to increase the quality of your life, you'd be a fool not to do it, right? So that's why I work
Right.
out. People that are inconsistent,
So are
they're
you a
not.
morning or an afternoon guy, or does it just not matter? It just has to happen every day for you.
I like to do it first thing in the morning. I get up at 4. Like today, I got up at 4, spend about a 30-45 minutes going through like some self-reflection, journaling, right? Reading, and then go to the gym and work out from 5 till 6:30. And that's the way I like to start my day. That's the best way for me to start my day because it sets the tone for how I'm showing up. Now, every once in a while, like people always go, "How do you get up at 4 every day? Don't you get tired of the time you go to sleep?" And
Right.
every like 3, 4, 5 days, whatever it is, if I feel I need extra sleep, I'll sleep until 5:30, and I'll get up and I'll just read in the morning, and I'll drop my kids at school with my wife, and then maybe I'll hit the gym later that day,
Yeah.
or maybe it's a rest day for me and a recovery day. What I've learned over the years is recovery and being adequately rested is so important for performance. Like when I'm well rested and I feel good, and I'm just in that flow state for how I've been showing up during that week, like I'm crushing all my goals.
Yeah.
But if you're depleted on sleep, you're not as quick in your thinking, you're not as sharp, you're not as crisp. And like, dude, I got 4 kids and like hundreds of clients. I can't afford to be depleted.
Yeah.
I gotta be showing up at a high level every day.
You got to be pouring into a ton of people. You're like this big charging block that everybody comes and charges off of. And then, you got to have a lot of juice.
Yeah, but real quick, let me to simply answer your question about why guys are inconsistent. They don't have a powerful enough why. Like for those guys that are inconsistent, anyone that gives me an excuse about something they know they should do, they're not doing it. I'll challenge them. I'll go, okay, if you got $100,000 deposited into your personal checking account every day that you hit the gym, how many days out of the week would you miss? How many
None.
days last month would you have missed?
Right.
Zero. Zero is always the answer because they understand the value of the money. So what that tells me is there's a disconnect in understanding the value of a healthier body, sound habits, who that could help them become over the course of a year, 2, 5, 10, and what that man will do in his life, how that man will lead his family. And these are things in my mentorship that I'm always working on. It's the vision. It's the connection to that vision. It's these mental cues. It's this self-talk. If you want to change how you operate, you got to change the way you think first.
Mm. So for me, the value, the reason that I began on this journey, and I've been doing a lot of walking and stuff like that for the last couple of years, just because I wanted to be fitter. I wanted to have lower blood pressure and everything. But I ended up joining yours because I've been looking for a personal trainer for months and months and months, somebody to just come train me at my facility, and I couldn't find it. But I really, the thought process behind it was when Andy Elliott, let's say, some people love him, some people hate him, but when that dude walks into a room, or when a Sean Crane walks into the room, people notice, right? Like they're going to respect, without you opening your mouth, they're going to respect the discipline that you've got way more than somebody that comes in that's got a waistline that's 10 inches too big.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, before we know how much money's in your checking account or what kind of watch you're wearing or the accolades that you've built, your physical presentation says a lot about you because it shows all the things that you're doing or not doing when people aren't around. Like
Yeah.
every meal, it's symbolic of how you're living your life, the meals that you choose to eat, the habits that you formed, so you respect the guy who's built and looking fit because he's worked harder than the guy who's not. And we all respect hard workers. It's a value that we should all possess. Like, it's hard to respect someone who's just completely neglected themselves and gained 60, 100 pounds. Like, naturally, you're not going to respect that person the same way. And what we have to recognize, especially in sales and life, and like I see this with my kids a lot, they can't help but be judgmental. And they don't have a filter like we do. As you get older and more mature,
Yeah.
you know what to say and what not to say. We were at the beach the other day getting ice cream on the pier with my kids, and there was this fat guy on the pier, and my son like pointed at him. He goes, "Dad, that guy's really fat." And my son was 4 at the time. He didn't know. I had to teach
Yeah.
him, hey, like we don't want to point at people and make them feel bad. But I always share with them the truth. I'm like, look, if you eat too much sugar, you overeat food, and you don't exercise, and you don't take care of your body, you're going to get heavier. You're going to gain weight. You're going to be fat. And when you're unhealthy, that shows that you're not caring for yourself. And it's also going to affect the way you live your life. And so I say, it's okay to get ice cream sometimes. It's okay to have junk food or candy sometimes. Like, we got Halloween coming up. But I say, if you eat that stuff too much, it's going to affect the way you live your life. But we're all judgmental. So do you want to be judged instantaneously in a positive way or a negative way? Like, if you walk into that room at a conference and people see the bicep vein popping, or the lean physique that you possess, instantly they're going to judge you as someone who's a winner, a hard worker, a disciplined individual. Now, on the opposite end of the spectrum, if you're fat and out of shape, they're going to judge you that you're lazy, that you lack self-control, that you don't care about yourself that much. These are instantaneous things that are taking place in our brain. And it's because, over the years, people judge their environment and perceive certain things based on survival. Like, are they looking at Gene as a threat or someone that's a non-threat, right? Like, back in the day, that was like, if you're a freaking tiger or a bear or like
Right.
somebody from another tribe, you're a threat. Like, now it's like, it's different. We're in different times, but immediately people are like, do I want to get to know Gene? Is that someone I want to build a relationship with? Do I want to find out what he does? Let me follow him on social media. So you guys out there that want to create opportunities, like, use this to your advantage. I can't tell you, and this is not like, I'm not a freaking egotistical person. Like, I love what I do. I want to be an example for everyone, but I can't tell you how many times I walk into a room, whether it's an event I'm speaking at or just attending, and people just naturally come up and want to volunteer information or get to know me. And I know what I'm doing. I know the way I'm carrying myself. I know I've put in the work for 13 years. I'm showing up as an example because I want everyone to level up, and so it creates opportunities right away.
So I want to give them some practical tips. Most of the people that we're talking to are going to be HVAC, plumbing, electrical, roofing, pest control, garage door business owners, right? That's the majority of my platforms, account. That's what most of my people are. So, but you made me think. I was in Dan Martell's group as well, and he had 5 daily non-negotiables, and we had this one meeting every week, and it was on Wednesdays at like 1:00. And one of the 5 daily non-negotiables was that you had at least 30 minutes worth of exercise, that you'd went to the gym. And if you had not gone to the gym or done any of these other non-negotiables, you were not allowed to ask a question. And you couldn't actually, like, one of them was you had to post yourself doing your work 3 times on your story on Instagram. And their people, while you were in queue, would be looking at your Instagram and everything and making sure that you'd done those stories. And if you signed up for asking a question, he wouldn't humiliate you, but he'd be like, hey, you didn't do the work. You didn't do the non-negotiables. Better luck next time. And there's like 500 people in the group, right? But that made a huge difference for me. Before I met you, I kind of got out of his program and then went straight into yours. But man, guys, if you can just get that workout in before you go to work, you feel so effing accomplished. I'm telling you, like, I feel like I'm ahead of everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, especially like leadership is all about, your energy plays a big role in leadership. So if you're rolling out of bed and you're kind of getting up and just like racing out the door, having your coffee on the way to work, like a lot of people do, and then you're trying to get your sales team or your techs or whoever fired up to go crush the day, your energy is not the same, especially if you're overweight and you want to be healthier. And you said you were going to go to the gym, but you hit snooze. You're actually bringing in like a really repulsive energy to your team. I see this all the time. I have a lot of business owners that reach out for coaching because they know they don't feel at their best. And
Right.
over the years of focusing on building their business, like, look, I respect these guys. They're doing hard work. They're taking a vision that no one else can see and bringing it to reality. Like, what a beautiful thing, right? I have nothing but admiration for these guys. But a lot of times they give everything they got to grow the business. And so then they neglect their health. And oftentimes their relationships suffer. Their
Big time.
marriage isn't what they want it to be. The time with their kids, they're not as present as they want to be. And this is a big issue, right? They want to win in all areas of life. And the most common denominator in business, in family time, and in your own personal routines is you. So the first thing that we have to change with these individuals is their daily routines.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like moving your body, like you said, Gene, that first 30 minutes to 60 minutes of the day that completely changes people's self-talk, their energy, and how they show up. And you'll be a better leader for your team. You'll have better thoughts and energy throughout your day. It's going to be a catalyst for how you show up across the board. Because when you're healthier, it affects your mental health, your motivation, your mental bandwidth, your performance. It goes through the roof over time when you can start eating the right foods, taking care of your body, get hydrated. Obviously, at Unstoppable 365, we do supplementation as well because that's a big factor when these guys become so depleted. So, yeah, your health is one of the most important KPIs that you guys should be tracking, and most people aren't. And so they're
So
not.
let's start there. Let's start
Yeah.
there with the practical stuff, right? So, guys, I know that a lot of you are out there, you're running through the fast food places and all that other stuff, but I want to give you some practical tips that you can take with you today, and you could be smarter today about your health and fitness than you were before the podcast. All right. And then at the end, we'll give you an opportunity to potentially set up a conversation with Sean or one of his team members about how you could also get coached on, getting that 3 or 4.0 or 5.0 version of yourself. So one of the things I was really interested in, Sean, when I joined your program, some of this stuff I know, some of it I don't, some of the stuff I'm going to ask you, was I was interested in macros because I kept hearing people talk about macros and I had no clue what macros were. So could you explain, please, what are macros and why are they important?
Yeah. I mean, the food you put in your body is so important. It affects every aspect of your life. Um, your thoughts, your energy, your mood, your sleep, like everything. And we're eating what, 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day, whatever. So you're putting a lot of food in your body. What macros are, you have your total calories for the day. Your macros are how much fat, how much protein, or how much carbohydrates you eat. Now, having those in the right percentages is going to affect things like weight loss, energy, sleep, building muscle, all of that stuff. Most people eat way too much fat, way too much carbs, and not enough protein. And that's why you gain weight over time. You feel sluggish. That's why people become pre-diabetic or have high blood pressure because the food you're eating is not conducive to you being healthier. So, and this is the most important thing to recognize. If you want to have more discipline in your life and really have more self-control, one of the most impactful things you could do is understand the food you're eating in your body and then have discipline in nutrition. It's one of the hardest things for people to do because we like fast food. We like tasty food. It's addictive. But what it does is it deteriorates you over time, your cognitive ability, your health, your energy. So one of the first things we do with our clients is start educating them on nutrition. What are the foods you should be eating more of? What are the foods you should be eating less of? And I always look to create a lifestyle approach with nutrition. Like, I'm not going to say you can never have pizza or a burger ever again in your life, but what if we minimize it and eat more steak and chicken and rice and fruit? You know, what if we don't have cake every freaking birthday party, but once in a while? And here's the thing is we teach people how to track their calories. So just like you have the app that shows you your financial statements in your bank every month, you know how much calories you have left at dinner, how much calories you should eat per day. Like before you go make a big purchase, a lot of times people check their bank account. Do I have the funds in there? It's the same thing. It's being able to see the digits, the metrics, the numbers, so we can make informed decisions over time.
So for my plan, just so you guys know, every day I open up this app, and when I start eating or consuming proteins, fats, carbohydrates, whatever, I log them in, and it calculates automatically for me the approximate fat, carbohydrates, and protein. And one of the things I was really surprised about, Sean, was that I was nowhere near the amount of protein that I needed in my diet. Like, I bet you if I was lucky, I think you guys have got me set up for like 230 grams a day now. If I was lucky, I bet you I was getting 60, 70, 80 grams. No wonder I could never put on any muscle, right? And I wasn't putting protein into my body before a workout, right? So what happens to your body when you don't put protein in before the workout?
Well, your body will want to, it'll go catabolic. So it's going to actually
What
like,
does catabolic mean? Because you went into Greek mode now and nobody understands what's going on. And now they're not listening because they're going catabolic, catabolic, catabolic. What is that?
so if you're not eating enough protein, you're not building protein. But then when you're doing stuff like exercise, your body's actually going to break down some of the muscle you have and use it for energy.
Yeah.
But most people don't get enough protein, and protein are the building blocks of life. Like your body needs protein to build muscle, just to do a lot of different functions. And like I said earlier, most people eat too much fat, too much carbs, and not enough protein. So that's one of the first changes we make. First, we show people how to track their calories so they can generate awareness as to what kind of like how their macros are looking in the app. Then from there, we can start to coach them on getting higher protein meals for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. And oftentimes that starts helping with the cravings too. They don't crave the sugary snacks at night or the food at night that they binge on or whatever their guilty pleasures are when they get more protein earlier in the day. Then all of a sudden, as your body's building muscle, you start to lose body fat. You start to have a better body composition. You have more energy. You think more clearly, like your mental bandwidth improves. You start to feel better overall, all around, just with that one change.
Guys, if you're watching right now or you're listening to the podcast later, if you're watching live right now, will you please put live down in the comments? And if you're watching on a replay, please put replay down in the comments. That would mean the world to me. It would let me know when you're listening, and it'll help us to pump that algorithm. So I really appreciate that. Sean, what I've realized being a part of your program is that I don't have to starve in order to build muscle and to lose fat. That's been huge for me. Like every time I've ever tried to do that, it's felt like, how could I ever do this for the long term? Right. But now that I know when I put a New York strip on the grill or a piece of chicken or whatever, I know kind of how to eat now. And I'm not perfect at it. I still need to attend some of those diet, classes that we have on, I think, Wednesdays. But people, you don't have to starve. All right. So Sean, give me kind of a guesstimate formula, and nobody's going to be able to track this well without an app like yours, but give me an estimate. If I'm a 200-pound man, and I'm 6 foot tall, how much protein, just as a guess, should I be putting into my body on a daily basis? And then tell me what kind of protein, right? Because some people don't understand the whey problem.
Yeah, well, the simplest way is just whatever your body weight is, have a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So
Okay.
a 200-pound man, aim to get 200 grams of protein per day. The best sources of protein are going to be animal products: beef, fish, eggs, chicken, non-fat Greek yogurt. If you could avoid protein powder altogether, I'd say do it. But for a lot of people, it's hard to get all their protein every day. Because like you said, like 230 grams. So if you eat 4 times a day, right, that's like 80 grams of protein per meal. If you know what I mean? So you're probably getting 40, 50, maybe 60 per meal. And then at the end of the night, if you're still short on your protein, I'd say drink a protein shake and get like a good quality protein powder. Don't eat protein bars. Those are crap. They're just full of a bunch of things. It's like eating a Snickers just with protein in it.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, red meat is the best thing that you could put in your body on the planet. Like a ribeye, it's got a bad rap from research and like studies and tests that were funded by food companies that were misleading. Like there was a study done, I believe it was in the 60s, by Harvard researchers, and they basically said like red meat causes cancer and causes obesity, and don't eat the fat and all this stuff. And all of a sudden the food pyramid became like predominantly carbohydrates. And then after that, the obesity rates went through the roof. It's because the best stuff you eat in your body is like steak and chicken. And, if you can go out and hunt elk or deer out in the wilderness, that's the best protein on the planet, because it's not, the thing you have to worry about with red meat is how is the cow being raised and fed?
Right.
We have a bunch of
Well, let's talk
antibiotics.
about that because I'm buying grass-fed, grass-finished, regenerative farmed beef. So talk
Yeah.
to us about why that would be important.
Yeah, and real quick to answer Alan's question, yeah, the carnivore diet is one of the best diets by far, to lower blood pressure if you have high blood pressure, to help with any cardiovascular issues, any inflammation, any autoimmune issues. It'll reverse those things. And if you want to lose a bunch of weight, if you do the carnivore diet, your body will just start burning through body fat like rapidly. High protein, high fat, low carb. A lot of people do really well on that. But here's the thing about diets and nutrition before I answer your question, Gene. We do blood work with all of our clients, and that's really telling of what's the best diet for them. So, like, Gene, you haven't done the blood test yet, but if we did, we'd be able to tell you exactly what foods you should avoid and what you would do better to be eating. Like when I did the blood test,
Is that based on your type of blood, your blood type?
no, it's a comprehensive blood test. We measure over 200 biomarkers. The thing we focus on all aspects of health, but the thing that Dr. J, my partner, really focuses on is leaky gut, which most people have, and that creates all these symptoms: inflammation throughout your whole body, brain fog, trouble sleeping, like sleep apnea, um, all these different symptoms. And your cells can't fully absorb nutrients when you have leaky gut. Like I had leaky gut. Leaky gut stems from being exposed to environmental toxins, pesticides,
Molds.
um, heavy metals, all the crap we're exposed to throughout our life. Also, eating processed food, drinking alcohol, and stress. Stress will do it. So, if you're a business owner or an entrepreneur, guess what? Just like me, you probably have leaky gut. And the thing that stood out the most is my cells couldn't fully absorb nutrients. So, no matter how much berries, kale, spinach, supplements I was taking, my cell absorption rate would never be maximized. And that means you won't optimize your health until you fix your leaky gut. So that's the first thing we do. And one of the ways you fix leaky gut, peptides help. We have a gut health protocol, which are supplements you take, but also making adjustments to your nutrition. And so once you do the blood test, then you have the information to make an accurate decision. That's why we do that. A lot of our clients get on carnivore because it's so good for healing leaky gut or reversing autoimmune issues. For myself, I process carbohydrates really well. Like my insulin sensitivity is amazing. Most people's is not. And so I can eat a lot of carbs. I eat 400 grams of carbs per day right
Jeez.
now. Yeah. But not everyone can do that. So doing the blood work is really insightful. But then when it comes to like red meat and steak, if you just go buy steaks at Albertsons, chances are those cows are in a tiny little pen their whole life. They're being pumped full of antibiotics and they're eating corn for food. Cows aren't designed to eat corn, man. They need to be out roaming in fields, eating grass, running around. The quality of the meat will be so much different and not being pumped full of antibiotics. So I'd recommend if you can find a local ranch, whatever state you guys are in, you could buy half a cow or a cow at a time. You get a pretty damn good deal, and then you just stock up your freezer full of beef. You have it all year long, and you just can cook that meat as you please.
Guys, if you look at like I don't want to say carcass, but when they're butchering the animal, you can find this online. If you look at the difference between a grass-fed and grass-finished cow versus one that's not, it's a big difference. There's a lot more fat and a lot more stuff on that cow than there's supposed to be. And on top of that, what I also found out was that the grain and the corns that they feed them mess up their guts really bad, right? And if their guts are messed up, you think that meat's going to be as good as it could be? It doesn't have the omegas that a lot of the grass-fed, grass-finished stuff's got.
Yeah.
So
Well, cows have
grass-fed and
what?
grass-finished is the key, guys.
Yeah, and cows have like 2 or 3 stomachs too, maybe. So
Yeah.
that's very important to the quality of meat, how they digest the food they're eating and what food they're actually consuming.
So proteins, you're going to want to stick with animal proteins if you can. What about, have you seen this new steak shake that's come out? My wife just bought it. It's like chocolate and banana, and it's supposed to actually be just beef proteins.
I'd look at the ingredients, and if it said beef, cacao, and banana, I'd say, wow, that's amazing. oftentimes the ingredients will tell you like a lot. You want to consume food that have one ingredient. So, like, what's the ingredient of an apple? An apple. What's the ingredient of a chicken? It's chicken. Like you want to
Right.
consume single ingredient foods. That's the best for your health. You'll notice it too. Like for me, I've eaten clean for so long. If I have something that has a bunch of ingredients, or I'm having like burgers or something, I notice it. But when I'm eating clean food 3, 4, 5 times a day, I feel like a machine. I sleep better. I have unlimited energy. My mental health, everything, because your gut health is the epicenter of so much that takes place in your body. 80% of your immune system is located in your gut. 60 to 70% of the neurotransmitters your brain produces, the precursors are derived in the gut. So, we are what we eat. There's a reality to that. It affects
Hmm.
every aspect of your life.
Sean, I've heard about, well, most of the proteins that I've seen out there until I started looking at plant proteins and this new animal protein. Most of them are whey proteins, and I'm under the impression that nothing that we put into our body is used the way that we put it into our body. Everything is converted into something else, and I'm under the understanding that whey converts to sugar. Is that incorrect?
I don't think that's 100% accurate. Your body can break proteins down into a type of glucose that it can use for energy. But no, if you consume whey, it's not like it's going to automatically convert it to sugar. I consume whey. Again, this would be a good reason to do the blood test, because some people can't process whey very well, or it can lead to gut issues. But I don't know that to be false or true. I've never heard that.
What you keep referring to this blood test? What does this blood test cost?
So it's a comprehensive blood test. I'll tell you this. If you go out and do blood work with your traditional doctor, they measure about 20 to 25 biomarkers, and it's very surface level,
Sure.
and it's not going to give you the insight you need. Any blood test on the market that you have to pay for out of pocket, if it's less than $1,000, it's a waste of time and money.
Sure.
So our blood test is $2,700.
That's not bad.
No, and for guys like you or your
Something told
audience,
me it was like $20,000.
well, we have programs that go up to $20,000. So we have a
Got it.
program that's a year long that includes 2 blood tests and includes all the supplements that you take for the entire year, as well as the coaching on the app that you're doing, the fitness and nutrition program, and multiple calls per week with myself, team members, and Dr. J. That's our highest level program. And the reason people opt into that is because they're getting a really good deal. They get 2 blood tests, they get all the supplementation for the year, as well as consultations with Dr. J. And we've seen people completely change their life and their health in that time frame.
I love that. One other question I had about, well, this is something that we've changed dramatically in our lives in the last at least year and a half, and that's been cutting out the seed oils. Talk to people about what are seed oils and why should we not have them in our diets? And guys, if you go out and you eat anywhere, it's going to be really difficult to find anything that's not cooked in a seed oil. So what are seed oils?
Yeah, I mean, seed oils are used to preserve food. Like processed food have certain seed oils added. They're used to cook food because it's cheaper than using like butter or stuff of that nature. But when it's heated up or when it's added to like processed food and you consume it, your body cannot process that seed oil very well. So talk about things like canola oil. Anytime you see like canola oil or sunflower seed oil, stuff like that. The only oil you should be cooking with is extra virgin olive oil, right? Olive oil is the best to cook with. But like when you go out and get a steak, you can require them or ask them, hey, can you cook it with butter instead of canola oil? That's what all the restaurants use. That's what creates so much inflammation in your body. That's what leads to like things like heart attack and cardiovascular issues. In the past, people said, oh, it's red meat. No, it's the seed oils. They cause so much inflammation. Your body can't process it, can't digest it properly. That causes leaky gut, So like when we do our blood test and you see your omega-6 count, if it's high, it's probably because you're consuming seed oils. And that could be processed food, or it could be that people are cooking with it and you're eating that food.
Guys, if it comes in a wrapper that crinkles, you probably want to throw it away.
Yeah, and a lot of this is like it's a mindset shift and it's a lifestyle shift. You know, we grow up eating this stuff. We assume it's somewhat safe and healthy, and then as you start to educate yourself on it, you realize, damn, everything we're doing is depleting our health. You know, it takes a lot of rethinking, a lot of willingness to change, and then the discipline to do so. But for me, like I want to live the highest quality of life. I want my family to as well. So it's important to me. So I do it.
The late night snacking has always been a massive challenge for me. And so I still do snack at night, and I've got the calories left over to do it, but it's usually like a perfect amino bar or something like that. That sure, it tastes sweet. It to me it tastes like a damn candy bar now, right? Now that I've gone through a few cases of them.
Yeah.
But I really like those. Is there anything that's a go-to that you found that is good to satisfy that late night craving that people still love, but it's like
Yeah. Well, lately I've been doing plain oatmeal with a little peanut butter drizzled on top, cut up banana and honey. So
oatmeal?
honey and peanut butter is a great
What
combo.
kind of oatmeal though?
It's red mill.
Okay.
Don't get Quaker Oats. Quaker Oats is crap. Red mill is cleaner the way it's processed. Uh, Honey and peanut butter is a great combo. You got to be careful with the peanut butter because it's high in fat and you can easily overeat it. But I'll put peanut butter, cut up banana, and honey on like a rice cake. Really good. Rice cakes have barely any calories. Another one I do is protein pancakes. So at night,
Okay.
if I'm craving something like that, I do protein pancakes. I make mine really simple. I do like a half a cup of oats, a banana, and a scoop of chocolate protein powder, and I blend it up in the blender. And then I just throw that on the frying pan. And then when
Hmm.
those are done, they cook up just like pancakes. I put peanut butter and honey on top, and they're freaking amazing. And
What are
you
those
could eat
ingredients? Those
like
first couple ingredients? Because you're not buying this out of a box. You're
no, I make it, and you could add more stuff to it. You could add an egg or egg whites or
no. Tell me what
uh,
it was again. I want to know. I got a picture in my mind.
yeah. So it's a half cup of oats.
Okay,
Then you put a whole banana,
got it.
then just one scoop of chocolate protein powder. That's it. And you blend it up. And then you cook that on the frying pan. And when they're done, you put some honey and some peanut butter on top, and it tastes really good.
I love that. I always liked to use honey for anytime I was eating pancakes too. Got it. So we've covered the seed oils, we've covered the protein stuff, and we were just talking about creatine. That's what I'm working on right here, right? Why do we need creatine, or why do you take creatine 3 times a day? You were telling me because I was
Yeah,
told that you're only supposed to take this once a day, but that's obviously for I mean just an average person that's not exercising as much, or how's it help you?
no, even for people that aren't exercising, studies show that creatine helps with cognition, and your brain functioning over time. It also helps you to build muscle and recover faster from working out. Creatine's in animal products. If you eat a steak or some type of protein, chances are you're consuming creatine. It's just a complex protein, you know. So you're getting creatine. Everybody's consuming creatine all the time. But studies showing you supplement with it and take more 5 grams, 10 grams, 15 grams a day, you get added benefits and there's no risk to it.
Awesome. Hang on a second here. We're whipping through all of these questions that I had. I love it. Oh, I did have a question about the workouts that you guys have on the app. Can we get rid of the stair climber altogether?
No, no. Honestly, the stair climber is one of the best things to do. It's hard, right? And
Oh,
you pour sweat, your heart's racing. I'm envious of you. I wish I could do the stair climber, right?
you
So,
got a
like,
you got a knee issue or something?
yeah, about 2 years ago, I was training for I did 2 Ironman competitions, an ultra marathon, or many marathons, but then I was training for an ultra marathon in Zion, Utah, and I went out there and tried to do it with a torn meniscus, and my leg locked up at mile 30, and I had to pull out of the race. And I was bummed out, man. I started getting MRIs after, and the doctors were like, "You have missing cartilage in your knee. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna need a knee replacement." I kept running after that, kept running until finally I had to stop. Like the pain was so bad. It would swell up all the time. And so then I moved to the Stairmaster, and I was like, well, at least I can get my cardio this way. And I love the Stairmaster. And then eventually that would hurt it. So I've had to stop doing a lot of cardio. I can still do like the elliptical or walk, which I enjoy doing, until I can look into maybe stem cell therapy or figure out a way to fix my knee without a knee replacement. But anyway, this is something I always think about. Like when people say, I hate the Stairmaster, I don't want to do this, or I don't want to do that. Like, look at people that can't do what you get to do. Look at people in wheelchairs. Look at people who are less fortunate than you. Like I always would think about that.
With all that motivational bull crap.
When I'm negotiating with myself, though, I always think about that. I was at church on Sunday, and they showed a clip of these women in Uganda carrying 40-pound water jugs down to this watering hole, filling them up, and then walking home. And that's how they got their water every day. And my kids are watching it, my wife, and I'm like, you see how people live in other parts of the world? Like, we have the luxury of turning a faucet and getting to get fresh water. Like, people don't have that all throughout the world. So I like always thinking about, what people don't have or how much worse it could be. It puts things in perspective for me and helps me to find the gratitude in what I get to do now. Even something as silly as like going to do the Stairmaster. If you got a freaking car accident, Gene, and you can never use your legs again, I guarantee you would really wish that you had your legs back to do the Stairmaster.
I'm like every 30 seconds, I'm calculating what percentage I've got left to go or how much I've achieved. Like once I get to about that 13, 14 minute mark, I'm like, okay, I can make it. But man, it's a daunting machine for me. But I never really worked my legs, right?
How do you build resilience? You talked about resilience earlier.
Yeah.
There's nothing else, and this is for everyone listening to this. There's no better action or habit to form in your life if you want to develop mental toughness, discipline, and resiliency, like working out, especially in the morning. Like I get up at 4, and if I know it's leg day at 5, I have like anxiety going to the gym. I know I'm gonna go through some pain. I'm gonna suffer. I'm gonna torture myself. It's gonna be really hard. So in the midst of that, I have to create the right mindset and self-talk just to get to the gym, just to start the workout. Then I do the workout, and I push myself to complete failure because I want to be the best. That's who I am. I leave the gym and I'm like, dude, I'm a freaking winner. I'm winning. Yeah. I just did something really hard today I didn't want to do that was very difficult. So if you do that over time, the way it transforms your thinking and your own identity is life-changing.
Dude, I couldn't agree with you more. Guys, if you've got questions before the end of the show, please go ahead and put them down in the comments. I've got a question here from Alan Phillips. He says, I've heard that shakes and liquid proteins can only be pulled from for nutrients in your body for like 2 to 4 hours. But an actual meal like meat and eggs can be pulled from for like 5 or 6 hours. Is that true? And is it better to stay away from shakes if you can eat food? He said that's better to stay away from shakes, but go ahead and take that one, Sean.
Yeah, it's just the quality of protein. Like think about a shake is processed. It's a bunch of different ingredients. The body doesn't do as well to digest and absorb processed food as it does a piece of chicken or a piece of steak. Steak is so dense in micronutrients. Like if you took a ribeye and you're eating a ribeye with the fat and everything, Dr. J, who's my doctor who works with Unstoppable 365, if you ask him what's the one best piece of food on the planet that you should be consuming, he would say a ribeye steak. Right when he told me that, I knew he was my doctor. I'm like, you know that. Yeah. He doesn't even eat vegetables. Right? He's like, no, vegetables, they just mess up your digestive tract. And
they don't want to be eaten, right?
He's eating steak and he's,
No, I'm talking about the vegetables. I think he's probably going to say a lot of them don't want to be eaten. They've got lectins, all that other stuff, right?
Yeah, and it's they're so dense, right? Like think of like a stalk of a broccoli. Like, can you imagine your body trying to break that down? So yeah, try to get all your protein from animal food if possible. Egg whites, eggs, chicken, beef, fish. Greek yogurt, another good one.
I think what do we use, babe? Is it Too Good or So Good or something like that? It's like high in protein and it's got low sugar in it as well. So, and I don't know about you, but I keep cottage cheese and stuff like that, the little single packs in the fridge. That's pretty good protein.
Yeah.
Decent little snack. It takes the edge off.
Yeah.
Sean, we're winding out the show. How do people get a hold of you if they want to look into doing the same program that I'm doing, or even your bigger, better program with all of the testing and the blood testing and the coaching from Dr. J?
Yeah, easiest way, you could reach out to me on social media, Sean Michael Crane on Facebook, Sean_Crane_official on Instagram, or go to unstoppable365.com and you can check out the site. There's options to have a consultation or look into the different programs we offer. I mean, we have programs from $49 a month all the way up to the higher ticket. We have a couple different blood tests. One of them checks just your hormones, which is important because most guys are low on testosterone, or their estrogen's too high, and that's affecting them. And then we have the comprehensive blood test, which I think everybody at some time in their life should do. And I tell people this all the time, Gene. There's been like a handful of things that have significantly impacted my life. Believing in God, getting sober, becoming a father and a family man, and then doing my blood work, like probably in that order, because it was like a P&L in business for my health. And I learned things about my body and my health that I would have never have known. And I did it first at 36. Now I'm 37. So for the rest of my life, I can eat the right stuff every day. I can take the right supplements based on what my body needs. I have a blueprint for what I need. I'm not just out there buying stuff at the grocery store, thinking I'm doing the right thing, but not knowing. It's methodical. And I like that because I want to live to be freaking 200. I got a lot of lives to change, a lot of good stuff I want to do while I'm alive, a lot of time I want to spend with my family, and I can only do that at the highest level if I'm in good quality health and I'm optimized.
Dude, that's awesome. Before we go, you made me think of one other thing. Actually two things. One is the testosterone thing. How would I know if I'm a dude that I don't have the right amount of testosterone? If I'm constantly horny and I'm constantly chasing my wife around the bedroom, does that mean I'm good?
You might be. Chances are you're lower than people think that testosterone is about how much you want to have sex and then getting big in the gym. And right. I kind of thought it was more about building muscle and stuff too, until Dr. J educated me. And what he told me, he goes, look, your hormones are like the gatekeepers for your cells. If your hormones are not optimized, your cells cannot be optimized. If you want to have the highest quality health and live the best life and feel the best, you need to optimize your cells. That's what prevents aging and disease, things like cancer and all this stuff. And testosterone specifically plays a key role in cognition, like things like dementia, Alzheimer's, even various forms of cancer. If your hormones are not optimized, you're more at risk. So he explained this all to me very, very thoroughly. And he explained to me the right range to be in to optimize my health. For men, it's typically between 800 and let's say 1200. If you went to your traditional doctor and you were at 400, they'd say you're okay, because they're in the business of just treating sick people, and they're not in the business of optimizing health and turning people into superhumans. That's what we do at Unstoppable 365. I want you guys to be the best dads, best husbands, grow the biggest businesses, make the most impact. When our health is optimized and we feel amazing, it's more likely we can do that, So we have a blood test on our site for just testosterone and hormones. Typically it's $100. But for anyone listening, including Eugene, if you use the discount code FREEDOM, I think it's all lowercase, it'll make the test free. So you guys can all get your hormones checked for free. At least that way you know where you're at. Some of you might be fine. Some of you, your estrogen might be way too high and your testosterone might be low. And that's probably why you feel a lack of morale or motivation. Maybe you don't feel like, often guys tell me, I just don't feel the way I want to feel. Something's missing. I don't have that spark. I don't have that drive. I don't wake up and just get after it. Like I do, but I have to push through it. I don't feel at my best. Most often those guys are affected because their testosterone is really low. And when you can optimize that, it's a game changer. They feel like it's like night and day.
This hormone test that you were talking about, or any of these tests, do they also look for gene mutations? Like the stuff that Gary Brecka talks about, like the MTHFR gene mutation?
To be honest, I like Gary. He's a good human being, but 10X is kind of a joke. I did 10X Health, their blood test, before I started working with Dr. J. My wife and I both did it, and we got like basically the same results back. And they're like, here, just take these supplements every month and you'll be good. We got the same like process, And when I did the blood test with Dr. J, and so did my wife, We got completely different results back and a completely different protocol because she's a woman. She's had children, postpartum, which changes hormones and stuff. I'm a man. I'm built different. I need different stuff for my body. So our protocol was way different. And when I asked Dr. J about that, he goes, "Yeah, I mean, they've just turned it into a business and like it's not customized." And when I asked him about the gene mutation, he goes, "Everyone has gene mutations. Most people on the planet have that exact gene mutation that they talk about." So it's like it's more it's a little misleading in my opinion. So I think what we do is way more customized for the client. It's not just some cookie cutter program. And I mean, if me and my wife both got the same results back with them, but then with Dr. J, completely different results back, that showed me a lot about how in depth the tests are and also his interpretation and analysis of them. Like Dr. J is a freaking smart guy. He's a naturopathic doctor. I don't even think Gary Breck is actually a doctor.
No, he's
very
not.
charismatic, informed, amazing human being. I really like Gary. I have his number. I'd text him and ask him stuff, like I met him at events we spoke at, and like he's a great person. But when it comes to really helping people optimize their health, there's no one else I would look to than Dr. J.
I love that, man. Guys, unstoppable365.com. Go on over there. Get your hormones checked, guys. Remember the discount code FREEDOM, and Sean is going to pay for it for you. Sean, I really appreciate that, man. Is there any final thoughts that you want to leave the people with? You answered all my questions, big dog.
Yeah, I love talking about this stuff. For me, it's always deeper than like what to eat and working out and hormones. Like it's a deeper thing inside of me that drives me every day. It's my why. It's knowing what's at stake if I don't give my all, and in the past having to face those regrets and feel that pain behind my decisions. So what I tell anyone listening to this, man, is like inside right now, your mind, your body, your spirit, like who you want to be and the changes you need to make. Make those changes now before it's too late. Don't wait till you're the guy who had a heart attack wishing he would have got healthy for his family. Don't wait to make the changes in your business until, you're so stressed out that you have a breakdown. Or like you guys can make such significant change now if you recognize the importance of it. And if you're truly inspired to be that leader, be that person that can live by example for others. Like for me, that's always the mindset that goes into making change. It's the why behind it that leads to lifelong results versus just like these temporary results that people seek.
Mm-hmm. Guys, I believe in Sean. I believe in his program. I'm using it. I intend to continue using it. I have clients that use it, other industry business owners that I know use it. If you're interested, go on over there to Unstoppable 365 or look up Sean Michael Crane on any platform that you want. Look for the guy that looks like a Greek god. That will be him.
And real quick, Gene. So just to give a little insight, our program at Unstoppable 365 was designed for blue collar business owners. 99% of our clients are blue collar business owners, from HVAC to roofing, plumbing, concrete, you name it, contractors. And so we've systemized, developing the right health habits for you guys. Just the way you have systems in business, you need a personal system. You need to be organized in your personal life. Like if I showed you my calendar, you wouldn't see work and family or just work. You would see a life by design. I put everything in there, like how I want my day to start from the moment I open my eyes to the moment I go to sleep. It's personal development, it's business execution, it's family time. And that's the way that you create a lifestyle around making these changes. So we understand that business owners are busy. We don't want to throw more on their plate. We want to help them optimize and be more organized in how they're approaching their days. And then it takes a little time to educate you on nutrition, show you how to work out, help you lose that weight. That's why you have coaches. That's why you have accountability. A lot of business owners, they're the ones delegating. They're the leaders in their world. They don't have anyone checking over their shoulder and holding them accountable.
Right.
That's why over time, they start to slip a little bit. And at first, it's not a big deal. But all of a sudden, you gain more weight, you're drinking too much, whatever these issues are, and they're going to start to affect your performance. So you need a coach, you need a system that you can execute that's going to help you to get the results you want. And then when you feel better and lose the weight or get sober, whatever it is important to you, all of a sudden you start performing at such an elite level, and your wife and kids notice it, your team members notice it. So that's what we want to help people do. We want to help them to optimize their health so they can crush it in all areas of life. If that's you and you're listening, reach out to me, man. We'll have a conversation. We got some amazing testimonials, Gene. I mean, Tommy Mello, Chris Yano, right? Dave Carroll, Brandon Vaughn. Ryan Fenn, all business owners, Lance Bachman. These are guys doing 8, 9 figures, hundreds of employees. And the reason they started prioritizing their health is because they realized if they wanted to take their organization to that next level and be the ultimate leader, they had to lead by example. They had to do the work on themselves first for other people to buy in. And then when other people buy in and they start following suit, gosh, you create something powerful. You create a machine that's unstoppable. So that's what we want for our clientele.
I love that, man. If you're a business owner, go over to Unstoppable 365 or hit him up at Sean Michael Crane on all of the social platforms. Sean, thanks again for everything that you're doing for my community here. And also thank you for having the guts to reach out to me and enroll me in the program. It's made a big difference in my life, and I'm grateful to you for it. So thank you, sir.
Let's go, brother. We're just getting started.
Guys, if you want any information on the next live mansion event, which is coming up January 8th through the 12th, I'm dating the show, but if you're watching it live right now or in the next couple of days, this is the first time I've announced it. I have 31 spots. 31 people can come to the Orlando Grand Hala Mansion, January 8th through the 12th. If you want information, just put mansion down below and my team will reach out to you. Or you can always give me a call, 239-848-6533. Have a great day, ninjas. I'll see you on the next one.